talk about recurrent tennis elbow. So, three essential tips for busy executive moms who have recurrent tennis elbow. So, tennis elbow or lateral epicondylitis, as it is called in the medical world, it is a condition that causes pain on the outer part of your elbow, and it often radiates into your forearm, hand, and fingers. It can even go up into your shoulder and your neck. Now, for busy executive moms who type or who spend hours really on typing, writing, or juggling their professional and personal family life, this condition can disrupt your daily routine, your everyday activities that you do. So, tennis elbow, the question that often arises for people who suffer from tennis elbow is this a recurrent condition? As in, does this tennis elbow ever go away? And if it does it come back then? So let's discuss more in this video about recurrent tennis elbow and understand how to manage this condition effectively to avoid or prevent that recurrence of tennis elbow or the tennis elbow, how to stop the tennis elbow from coming back again and again. All right, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their just one sec, I'm having some technical issues here. Yeah, so I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck, joint and nerve pains. And this is despite low energy levels and brain fog or lack of focus. Now, I do so by giving you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain journey. Now, and adrenal fatigue journey, I should add that, because the signs of low energy level and brain fog that I had were a part of that adrenal fatigue, though it is a term that has a lot of other symptoms, but these are my main ones. When you have these, it is very, very difficult. That's actually an understatement. It's very, very difficult to get rid or manage or even prevent your spinal nerve and joint pain. So I do all of this without taking away a big chunk of your time because, hey, we're moms, we're busy people, right? So let's get into the topic for today, which is recurrent tennis elbow. Three essential tips for busy executive moms, or really anybody who has tennis elbow. These are the tips that can help you. Now, tennis elbow is a repetitive strain injury. That now, what is that? So it is caused by overuse of your forearm muscles and tendons that attach on the outer part of the elbow. So if you look at the outer elbow here, it has these muscles that are attached to this bony area here, so not on your point of your elbow but towards the side of it. And this bulk of the muscle, it goes and you see these tendons here. So basically these muscles, they turn into these thin slips of muscle which is known as tendon, and it attaches to the fingers of your through this extends surface as in this darker side of your of your hand. Now, whenever you do any repetitive activities such as typing, lifting, even hobbies like baking, gardening, where you're constantly using this hand, wrist, and forearm area, if you're doing it repeatedly, day in and day out, hour after hour, it can cause inflammation in the outer part of the elbow here, which is the epicondyle or lateral epicondyle to be specific. And that is why that inflammation is known as lateral epicondylitis. Anything with the itis at the end, in the medical world, it denotes an inflammation. So inflammation in simple terms is swelling, redness, maybe lack of movement or loss of movement, and of course, pain. And I mean, it has these cardinal signs that are present. So you may notice the pain and the swelling and redness in your elbow. And of course, there might be a loss of function, as in when you are gripping something, you might find that you're weak and you're not able to do it as well. All right, moving on. If you are interested in if you're interested in more knowing more about tennis elbow, what are the causes, symptoms, etc., I have done a YouTube video on this. Actually, I've done a couple of YouTube videos on tennis elbow, and you can go to YouTube, check out my channel, or just go to YouTube, type my name, Swati Prakash tennis elbow, and those videos will pop up for you. But the question for today is, does tennis elbow ever go away? Now, many people find relief from tennis elbow with proper treatment, such as even rest, exercise, braces, or maybe even injections, joint injections into the elbow. However, tennis elbow can be recurrent, especially if the root cause is not addressed. So, suppose I do everything that is possible to manage tennis elbow. I go get an injection, I'm taking my medication, exercise, cold pack, hot pack, everything, braces, everything. However, I am constantly repeat doing this repetitive action every single day that is causing my tennis elbow. If I don't address that root cause, either I will address what the tips are. I don't follow those tips, or I keep on doing that repetitive activity. Obviously, my tennis elbow won't get any better, right? So, it could also be poor posture. If you have a poor posture, you that could be contributing to your tennis elbow problem. So just looking at my notes here, yeah. So of course, as moms, and especially working executive moms, we often lack the luxury of extended rests and understanding these triggers and strategies of management, etc. Now, let me give you some very simple, easy, and doable tips that you can start implementing right now. So I'm going to talk about 3 tips that you can use to manage your tennis elbow or to prevent recurrent tennis elbow. Take frequent breaks. I know this is easier said than done. However, if your work involves repetitive activities, or if you're doing a hobby, that suppose baking, and you repeatedly say you're whisking something or you're mixing something, and you're doing this repetitive movement of your wrist, and you're holding on to, say, the ladle or the spoon or the whisk, if you're repeatedly doing this activity, or you're using a mouse or something, you need to take a break every 20 minutes to half an hour. I know it sounds like a lot. Put a reminder, put a sticky note, ask somebody else to remind you, whatever works for you. So in that break, what do? Apply a cold pack. Cold pack will help to ease the inflammation if that is not possible. Obviously, every 15 to 20 minutes is not possible, but you could possibly do that 3 times a day, depending on your situation. If you're in the office, you could pop a cold pack into the freezer, or put a cold pack into the colder back part of the fridge, and put that on at least 3 times a day. Or else, I mean, apart from that, of course, a cold pack is not feasible for everybody at work. But what you can do at work is you can do some stretches for your forearm and wrist during these intervals to relieve your muscle spasm, to relieve the tension and strain that builds up in your muscle. Now, I will not be addressing those exercises here. However, if you are interested, I have a short yet very well in-depth course on tennis elbow. It's called Simple Solutions to Manage Your Tennis Elbow. You can grab that course. It has a lot of information. It goes into those exercises, causes, etc., in very simple English, really, in a very simple language, without medical jargon, and easy to do things that can be done to address your tennis elbow, really. Anyway, moving on, I have done some videos on YouTube as well about the exercises, so you can have a look there. The second thing I want to come to is revisit what worked for you before. So if you had tennis elbow, it went away and it has come back again, so it's a recurrent case of tennis elbow. What worked for you in the first place? When you had that first episode, was it wearing a brace? Was it a cold pack? Was it improvising your workstation to make it more ergonomically friendly, that is, putting your elbow, wrist, etc., in a neutral position? What was it that worked for you? Of course, this is common sense, right? What worked earlier might work for you again. Of course, every episode of tennis elbow can be different within the same person. Your left side or right side can also be different if you get tennis elbow on both sides. However, just think about what were your triggers, what helped you heal that tennis elbow. I have made a free checklist on desk ergonomics, basically how to set up your workspace for tennis elbow pain relief. I will leave that free checklist in a blog that I have written on this topic on recurrent tennis elbow. I will leave a link to that blog and that checklist in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link is in my bio. However, if you are not watching this in real time or watching this in the future, you can just message me the words desk ergonomics tennis elbow, and I will send that checklist across to you. All right, so coming to, of course, in that blog, we also have a lot of other other useful information. So have a look at it, and that checklist has been very helpful for people. So have a look at that as well. All right. So coming to the third tip, sorry. So as I said, when you're taking a break, get into daily stretching routine. Now, a gentle stretch for the forearm can help you maintain that flexibility and prevent that stiffness. So there are exercises that can take under a minute, so they don't have to take like a full chunk of your time, like a half an hour or 20 minutes, and they can be easily added to your daily routine. Again, refer back to that the course that I have on tennis elbow. Again, I will leave the link down below in the description for that. So while tennis elbow can be managed and it goes away with proper treatment, it may return if you do not address the basic cause like repetitive activities or any contributing factors. Really, everybody has different trigger factors, right? So for me, it may be that I'm lifting well, my children are older now, but if I had a toddler and I was lifting them constantly and my wrist is always in this extended position, or it is not in a neutral position, that may be the trigger for me. For you, it may be excessive use of the mouse. So depending on what your trigger factors are, address that and make sure that you are not going back into those causes, into those activities that are causing your tennis elbow. Anyway, I think I've said that enough. So stay proactive by incorporating that break, stretches, ergonomic adjustments, etc., that I mentioned. And of course, with consistent care, tennis elbow can be managed. It can be prevented as well. Alrighty, I hope you find that I found this. I hope you found this video useful. I am jumbling up my words today. All right. So if you have any questions, any comments for me regarding tennis elbow or any of the other videos that I've done recently, drop them in the description in the comments below, and I will address those for you. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.